Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you guys haven't seen already, I only have one eyebrow on and the other there is nothing there. That is because I am going to be filming today how to get the perfect eyebrow. I say perfect because this is the eyebrow that I personally simply feel that suits most faces. This does not mean that you have to think this is the perfect eyebrow for you, that you have to do it, or nothing like that whatsoever. That is not my intention. My purpose here is to film this for you guys because I have gotten so many questions, compliments on my eyebrows, and oh my gosh, what products do you use? Oh my gosh, how do you do your eyebrows like that? Oh my gosh, how long did it take you to do it? Like 30 minutes? They're like so good. I'm like, no, it took me like 30 minutes. And another one of the questions is like, how do you get the gradient effect? By gradient, I mean like that it goes from light to dark. And that is a technique that I personally feel, again, that is perfect for your eyebrows, because if you start all harsh from here and then all harsh all the way to your tail, and I'm explaining it on the eyebrow that I don't have, but I'm saying that if you start harsh from here and harsh all the way to your tail, it's gonna look way too intense, you know what I mean? Unless it's your preference. One thing that I do want to make clear on this video is that this is all personal preference. I am just showing you guys how I do my eyebrows. If you start too harsh on the inner corner, that's gonna create like the very boxed kind of eyebrow. And for me, that's what I don't do, what I don't like doing for myself at least. But again, if you like to do it, go ahead. For those of you who have asked me, how do you do your eyebrows, or you haven't asked me but you've been wondering, or you see me around school or whatever and you're like, oh my gosh, how does she do her eyebrows? I'm gonna show you guys today. I really hope I can explain this as much as I can. I feel like I suck at explaining. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit more so you guys could more clearly see, and I'm gonna show you guys the products that I use to get my eyebrows. So for my eyebrows, to create the gradient effect, I only use two products. What I do is I use a powder in the head of my brow, and then in the tail of my brow, that is when I use a pomade. But for powder, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder duo in the shade dark brown. And when you open it, it has two shades. It has a more lighter shade and then a dark shade. Honestly, don't really use this side because I feel like it's way too light for me. But if you are more light in skin tone, this will probably suit you better in reference to this side. But the only powder that I use is actually this side. This powder was actually created for that gradient effect because it has a more lighter shade and then a dark shade, so you won't have to go back and forth of two products, so you can just use this. I personally feel like this is way too light. For example, the powder that I use is this one, and this is the perfect shade for me because I have dark hair, and you always want to make sure that your eyebrows are the same color as your hair. That is what I feel suits us more. If I were to use this on my inner corner, it would just be like way too light and it wouldn't even show up on my eyebrows. So I adjusted and I only use this for the head of my brow. Then for the tail, I used to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade, and honestly guys, I will make a review on it because it is the best eyebrow product ever. Apart from the Brow Wiz and the brow definer, Anastasia makes the best brow products, and they are known for that mostly, I feel. I swear, that brow pomade, like, you can go in the pool, you can go on the beach, you can go in the shower, and it will not come off. I swear. I swear. I actually have not repurchased it because of the fact that it's $18 for one little product like this. Don't get me wrong, I will purchase it, like, I'll do it like this, but I actually found out there is another product in the drugstore market because Anastasia is high-end. There's another product in the drugstore market that is almost the exact same thing. It doesn't last as long, but hey, for the price difference, this is actually making me want to start a dupe series. And dupes are basically products from the drugstore market that are super close to a more high-end product. It's a big price difference. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but the one I am talking about is the Maybelline New York Eyestudio gel liner in the shade Brown. Basically looks like this. It looks like there's nothing in there, but once you open it, it is a gel kind of texture. This is actually an eyeliner. You can basically use this for your eyebrows as a brow pomade. Obviously, if you have darker hair than I do, then maybe you can go for black, but I feel like that would be way too harsh. I feel like when I looked at this at the store, I feel like it was actually lighter for me. It was too light for me. But then I looked at it on my eyebrows and I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Perfect. So yeah, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo for the head of my brow, and then the Maybelline Eyestudio Gel Liner in Brown for the end of my brow, for the tail of my brow. And what brushes, may you ask, that I use aren't like known or anything. These are just like regular, like no brand. I got these actually from Wish, well, one of them actually. So the one I use for the head of my brow with the powder, I use this eyeshadow brush, and this is from the company Maange, Mange. This is in 868. And I actually got this from Wish. If you guys don't know what Wish is an amazing app which you can basically online shop for dirt cheap. Like, it's so cheap, and I buy so many things on there and they're really good. I'll link all of the products that I used for my brows down below. If you guys are interested, just go ahead and look down in the description box and they will be there. These two for the head of my brow. And then for the tail of my brow, where I use the Maybelline Eyestudio Gel Liner in Brown. Excuse the dirtiness, but that is because I use it every single day. As a girl, I cannot go a day without defined, perfect eyebrows. I cannot. I use this, and this is also an angled brush. I actually don't remember where this is from. Oh yeah, I do remember this is from. This is from Maybelline also, not mistaken. Both of these eyebrow brushes are both angled, and I personally feel like having angled brushes for your eyebrows makes it the easiest way to create your eyebrows. If you were to use just a pointy brush, it would, one, take forever, two, you can make mistakes like this, and three, especially if you have a shaky hand, it is not going to work for you, honey. So that's why I recommend angled brushes, because it makes it so much easier just to create the perfect line if you want super defined eyebrows, which I like. Of course, creating the tail. So enough talking, let's just get straight into the eyebrow tutorial. So what you want to do, you want to take some of the product on your brush. Sorry, this is kind of hard to do, but I'm just taking some of the dark brown shade on my eyebrow brush, and I'm gonna start at the very inner corner. I hope you guys can see this. I'm gonna start, and I usually, since I always do one eyebrow first, obviously, I try to align it as best as I can to the other eyebrow. So this one is right here. I start right there, and I usually just create like something where I can guide myself from. Then I start, and that is basically how I align the very head of my brow. And using an angled brush makes it so much easier because it creates the line for you. And I can't talk when I'm doing my brow, guys, so bear with me. And I basically, once I do this line right here, I just start filling the head of my brow in. Doing it very light-handed just so I prevent any harshness in my brows. And I usually always try to leave the very tip without any product except for the line on the bottom, so that's what creates like a gradient effect. And that is basically all I do for the head of my brow, and now let's move on to the tail of it. So for this, I don't like to go in all out first. I first like to take a little bit of the product, and I like to build up my brows. So in case I make any mistakes, I can just try to clean it off with concealer or a makeup remover pen. More easier to add on than to take off. Just dip it in very, very lightly. And I start right where the powder ended. I start right there. And then I basically follow the bottom of my eyebrow. And then I slowly start to bring it up. You want to try to make it all look as one. So try to kind of mix in both of the products as best as you can. And then, sorry, I'm telling you, I can't talk and do my eyebrow at the same time. But once I start at the bottom, I slowly move up to the top, and then that is when I get to the very top of it. So right here where the powder ended, I start right there and very lightly, because if you want a defined brow, you want to do this very slowly. Need to go trim my eyebrows. Try to create as much of a straight line as possible. And then when you're at the top, try to start the tail, so give it a little bit of a bend at the very end, so like that. And then, I don't know why I love to use my pinky to do my eyebrows. I just feel like it helps me clean it off more. Then once you get to the tail, you just want to start lightly filling in if there's any sparse areas. And then if you see me just going over some of the parts that I already did, it's just because if I see something that I don't like and I want to perfect it, I just do it. Then I feel like this is the part that most of you guys think that is really, really hard, but it's actually the easiest. So for the tail, you just basically want to follow where these two lines kind of guided you towards to. And if you want more of a thicker line, then go ahead and do that. But I like to create a more fleeky brow. This is basically all I do. Watch. You see that? I literally just went bam. Because this already has a straight line, so you don't need to really like think too much about it. You just gotta do it really quick. And then just build up your eyebrow from there. If you don't like how your tail came out, you want to do a little bit more thicker, that is all up to you. And then once I finish it, I look at the other one and see if they look the same. And it looks like they do. This one just needs a little bit more fleeky at the end. Ooh, I think that was a little bit too long. Always want, I'm sorry if I'm like blocking it, but you always want to make sure that you look at the other eyebrow and you look at it from far to see if they look the same, because if they don't, then you have a problem. So that is basically how I get the perfect eyebrow that I do every single day on myself. Try to explain it as best as I could, but as long as you guys watched what I was doing, that's all I really need you guys to do, because hearing my words when doing my eyebrows, it's the hardest thing to do, like trying to explain it when you're doing it, because you're trying not to breathe. You're like, I feel like I think I stop breathing when I do my eyebrows or when I do my eyeliner. Lord. I hope you guys were able to get the most out of this tutorial, because I feel like it's the best it's gonna get as far as explaining it. But yeah, I hope you guys can see that it's not that hard to create the eyebrow. It just takes practice. The only reason why it seems like I make it seem so easy is because I do it every single day. So I got the practice, and that is how I was able to do it. Same with my eyeliner. You just need to practice, 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 and honey, practice doesn't make perfect, but it makes improvement. It makes the best that you can make it. So if you guys enjoyed this eyebrow tutorial, let me know by commenting down below, giving this video a thumbs up. I'm thinking of making an eyeliner tutorial as well, and maybe a foundation routine. Those little things that you do on an everyday basis. I'm thinking of doing them as well. So if you would like to see them, make sure to give me a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up so I know. And of course, don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you haven't already, if you want to be notified of whenever I have a new video up on my channel. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate your love and support like you guys can't imagine. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.